Fond du Lac Public Library. This is based off of, I did a little of my research on the demography of this city from the census, and that is from 2020 census, so it could be a little not accurate according to 2025, but it's close. So according to this demography, I found that 8.6% of people here are Hispanics, 4.5% is African Americans, 2% Asian, Native Americans, and other races. So it's really interesting to see that there is diversity in this community, and since the population is about 40,000 people or 45, it's great to have a good support for the library. That's the greatest strength because there is a lot of diversity in this community. And also, that was interesting that 90.6% of the people have they're high school graduates. So that is potential that there are more people who can be going into, bachelor's degree or higher education. And then 11.4% is below poverty line. So that gives a lot of opportunity for the library to interact with the patrons and provide more services to that community. So based on this, and the library's programs and services that I researched on my own from the website, I created my little SWOT analysis for you all. So SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And the strengths are, I think, greater than the weaknesses I found, because you do provide a robust collection, you do provide great resources for this community. The local history section was great, and based on that, you provide a lot of programming. The book club is very active, and there are other book clubs that come and do their book club meetings here. So you have book club kits for people, so that's another strength. Ideas Lab is really great. And this was, I did not even see this lab only online, and when I actually visited, I was very impressed, because I think there is so much potential to, further the service by providing a greater STEAM kind of activities and projects for the community. And then you have homebound services, which is really great for the people who can't come to the library and they're seniors. And then we go and deliver the books for them. The digital library is great. And from our conversation before, I heard great things about Canopy. So that's a great service for the community. Because more and more people go into, they're commuting for work, or even, just going shopping, and they want to listen to something other than radio or news. They can get a Libby account, and they can listen to audiobooks. And there's so many great varieties of digital resources that the library offers. Then programs and services for all ages, that is very impressive. I went on the events calendar and I was looking at all the different programs that this library provides. Is a great way to reach out to and service all the community. And of course, the population diversity is really helpful in this, because then you can do diverse programming. So based on that strength, I found a little bit about, I don't know how these weaknesses actually play into the community here, but I did find that some news articles and other places where they talked about there is a little bit of homeless population which is growing, and then there is 11.4% poverty, and then lack of jobs because some of the manufacturing places closed, and they got, they let people go. And then there's lack of skilled labor in the market here, and lack of job opportunities, because it is not a big city like other places, so you only have limited jobs and unemployment. But these weaknesses can be put to good use in favor of the library, where the libraries has opportunity to actually grow its services and provide um, programs based on the strengths. Like I saw some local history program, and the reference librarian was telling us that they do provide a lot of local history program. And this is really good because based on that is the strength of this community, and we have local history librarian, so that is a really good thing that they can then go and do their own research and find people who can provide program for the community. Local author visits, I don't know how often you get questions from local authors, locally published authors that they want to come in. That's the only way they can promote themselves, that they're, they wrote some books and then they want to come talk, and that's what I do in my current library, where you can come and do author talks, and sometimes they do it for free. You don't even have to pay them because they are promoting themselves too. So the only thing we don't allow is sales of their books in the library building, but then they can buy it prior to that. Can do trivia nights, because trivias are big. You can do history trivia, you can do the city trivia, you can do diverse kind of programs, and based on movies, based on books that people are reading. There's so many opportunities like that. And the partnership with local schools, I'm sure there is a great relationship between schools and the library, but I think that's the greatest opportunity for any library, because the better relationship you have with the local area schools, the goal of both the schools and the library is the same: to educate people and disseminate information. So if the kids are coming after school because it's a safe place, libraries are a safe place, they can come hang out, and that's a good opportunity to do a program at that time, because that would be a time when you can, maybe you have captured audience, and then you can do a book club for teens, or you can do movie night for them, or play board games. That way you're getting to build relationship with the children who come after school, and also during the summer reading club, you will have more kids who will come and participate because you went and built a relationship with them. And then when you go out to promote your summer reading club, then they recognize you. Oh, I saw you at the library. So then you already know and have a good trust. And trust is the most important in any relationship. When you build that trust with your local community, the relationship grows and people come automatically. And then I know that you have a children's museum here. I don't know how the relationship with the children's museum is, because that's another opportunity that can grow, and you can collaborate programs. We do some programs with our local historical museum and children's museum, and they come and present programs for free, and then we also go there and are visible during some kind of events they are having, and then we go and present the library. We have flyers we are giving out, or talk about the library program. So having a collaboration with any kind of museums and local area attractions is another opportunity for the library. I saw that you have a county fair which happens, and Fondue Fest and Walleye Weekend. I'm sure that library participates in that, but that's another great opportunity to be visible in the community. Wearing library t-shirts, and then giving out, little knickknacks about library, and giving some flyers, and library events calendar, and promoting library at the event. In my past library, we used to do face painting. Somebody always is an expert in the staff or a volunteer who can go and sit and do face painting. And then, oh, library booth is here, and we're doing face painting. And then in the side, we are giving out some calendars and brochures so that people know. So that's another opportunity for the library. Marketing is a great deal. I know there are so many venues to do marketing with all the social media, but I saw that you have a local newspaper, which is the Reporter, which is a great way to promote your programs, because not everybody is looking at online calendar. That's what we have found with my recent strategic planning survey we did in my community. People said, oh, they didn't see library had a website. They didn't see it on Facebook feed. I'm like, okay, all that time we are spending, if you didn't see, then it feels like a moot point. So I think sometimes people are still purchasing newspaper, and especially the older folks. So it's a good way to market our programs and services to them. Um, Local radio station is another way to go and do maybe a book talk. I know that Milwaukee Public Library does that all the time on NPR. They go on their station, local station, and they are talking about books or they're interviewing authors, so that's a great way to promote your program. Another thing I learned, which is Eau Claire Public Library does, is they have local transportation, the bus service. They have collaborated with the bus transportation department, and they put books in the bus. So the used books, which is removed from the library, instead of taking it to the dumps or in the book sale, they put it in different bus service. So when the kids are taking buses to, commute, they are bored in the bus. They're looking at the books. They can borrow the book, and they can take it home. They can read, bring it back if they want to. If they don't bring back, nobody is asking them to pay a fine for that, so it's kind of nice. Local area, like laundromats, people put, books in there. So they talk with the laundromat owners, and then they have like a bookshelf there, and then people donate, and there's also the library books there. So when they see the label, even though it's crossed out because it's a weeded book, it says FDLPL, and then people know, oh, there is a library we can go. So that's various ways to market ourselves and also share the knowledge and the resources to people who cannot come because of the transportation problems, or they don't have anybody who can take them to the library. So there's a good community of seniors in this city, so you can provide memory cafes for people with Alzheimer's and dementia. We do it at our library, it's a library system, and I think it's a great service for people, because sometimes these people are isolated, especially the people with Alzheimer's and dementia and their caregivers. They feel that they are all by themselves, nobody understands them. So if you provide memory cafes, that's once a month, people come gather, you provide an activity, and then you talk to them. That's the best part about serving the seniors, because there are many people who felt very isolated when you're talking to them. So we do bingo nights, we do pumpkin carving. Depending on the season, we provide programs, and they love it. And we do community cafes, that's another opportunity where people come and talk. So when people gather for once a week to come we make a pot of coffee, have some cookies out. People come and hang out, bring their projects, and they talk, or they talk to our reference librarian about how to download Libby, or how does this work, or how can they access certain material in the library. So it's a good opportunity to not only build relationships, but also bringing them all under one roof. Movie nights are great. Books to movie nights is even greater. You read the book, then watch the movie and discuss. I have done donuts and documentaries, which was a popular program in our community, where you come on a Friday morning, you watch a documentary which is 55 minutes long, and then you talk about it and have donuts and coffee, just kind of fun in winter. And we did a program called Unicorn Spaces, which was even great because people can bring whatever project they have or they want to learn. They could be painting, crocheting, knitting, or just scrapbooking, whatever they are working on or want to learn. That's another opportunity because you have such great population and diverse population who's probably will benefit from all these programs. Threats, definitely every library faces that. Cybersecurity is one of them because everything is online now, including patron records and everything, so it's very important that all the staff members are cybersecurity trained. They know how to identify which is not supposed to be. It could be a prank mail, it could be a hacking mail, or it can spread some bugs and viruses. So always good to cyber train all of our staff. And then physical security is important in any building. Especially in a city library, library is open to everybody all day long. So nobody's checking anyone. So if there is any kind of physical threat to anybody, it becomes very important for the library administration and the staff to watch out for those kind of threats and make sure that they are ready with that. So getting a police sheriff or somebody coming to the library and train them on a staff development day. talking about how to evacuate if there is a threat, or how to protect themselves if there is any kind of threat to the people who work here. So, and the patrons. So that's very important. And the collection. So we put so much money into our collection development, and there's always that question of how do we protect? Yes, we have probably a security strip in each item we are cataloging, but it can still get lost, or people find ways to damage them. So those are another things that's threats to the library. Misuse of public computers, going to websites that are not supposed to be, so that's another threat. And then there's always challenges. If I'm not saying all homeless people have issues, but people are seeing in bigger libraries and bigger cities that there is mental health issue. A lot of people come and use it as their home because they have to be out of their shelter and use the library to hang out someplace. And then substance abuse. People have found things that's happening in bigger cities, and misconduct and disruptive behavior. So for all these threats, if there is a robust policy that can be updated every time and staff is trained, that helps with resolving many of these issues, so everybody knows what to do in certain circumstance and how to deal with it and not panic. So those are important things that libraries should be paying attention to. So my 5-year plan, according to the SWOT analysis that I went through, local history programs you're providing already, but making it more diverse history programs to the local community, using the resources we have in the city, bringing people in to talk about different subjects, that would be great. And then bringing maybe a professor from Oshkosh or Green Bay or someplace and talking about certain history material is also a great way to introduce people to history and local history. Providing job skills. There are so many resources on the digital website that people can get trained. I don't know if you have Udemy, I didn't see it, but we use Udemy, and that is like Gale courses where people can sign up with their library card, and then they can learn almost anything, and it's all audiovisual. So it's really neat way to get skilled, because if people lose one job and they're trying to get another job, you want to make yourself, the continuing education credit, you learn something and then you can get certified. So that's another thing you can do. Library can provide those resources to the people who are looking for jobs. Technology classes, always technology. We all have to learn and keep abreast of it because there's so much change so frequently that it's hard to keep up with that. So library can provide that. Library can conduct some technology classes, one-on-one classes, so that everybody can get some benefits from that. More collaboration with the local area schools and businesses, programs for seniors, I already talked about that, and sharing used books in school buses and stuff. That could be a good way to, do my 5-year plan. So, if you have any questions, anything you want me to further explain, I can.
Any questions? I have a question. One of the areas that we're really looking to grow is our teen area. Do you have any ideas about what to do for teens?
Yes, so the teen is always hard to get in the building, right? So talking to them is the best way to learn about what they're interested in. I know the D&D club works great. We were having so much problem with teen because the next door neighbor school, the school we have in the neighborhood, some local area kids come and hang out, but then others, it's a charter school, they get dropped off and picked up. So we don't see them. But then we said, how do we approach these kids, and we want to do more teen program. So we started the D&D club. Now we have grown into 14. And I'm like, wow, we didn't know all these people were here. So now they are coming every week to play D&D, and that's a big, fancy game. This is not the electronic D&D, this is the, in person, they're role playing, and it's for 2 hours, and that brings in a lot of teens. So we have a wait list every year now. And then, of course, playing board games. And we also do something called lock-in. So in the summer, kids have to read certain number of hours or minutes or whatever their challenge is for the teen reading. And then if they fulfilled all that, we have a lock-in. And so when the library closes at 5 o'clock on a Friday evening, it's a wrap-up program for teens. They have to qualify for this, and they sign up, and the parents have to do the waiver form that they're not gonna get into trouble and all that fun stuff. And then we set up the whole library into different gaming areas. We have we do a pizza party. Kids can play video games, board games, whatever, role-playing, mystery, murder mystery we have conducted in the past. So that brings in a lot of teens because they think, oh, it's really special that they get to stay after the library closes until 10 o'clock and then they get to go home. So that's another one that someone suggested, oh, how about overnight? No, then it's a big responsibility. We don't want 20, 25 teens hanging out all night long, and next day the maintenance people will have a tough time cleaning up. So there are a lot of things that, and again, I don't know if you have a teen advisory board. That's another thing that we have formed. So we go to each area schools and we talk about our TAB council. So we excite them about, hey, you know what, this gives you job skills, accountability, responsibilities. So this teen advisory board can help you grow not only as an individual, but also you work in a team. You learn to work with other kids who are not your friends. You know, of course you can bring your friends to this, but if you serve this community, you come up with projects. You help the library do these projects. So they meet once a month. They come up with projects and to help the library, and then in return they get, you know, a certificate saying they did so many hours of volunteer work. So it's good for their honor, what is that called? Young Honors Society or something like that. So they get so each school has different requirement for that for community helping. So those kind of things help, and that brings a lot of teams because then we give them the ownership of what kind of programs you want to see, not just what we are preparing. Then based on that, we evaluate and then, you know, create programs for them. So that brings in a lot of teams. So I think there is various ways. Our book to movie club is very popular. We do read the books, teen YA books, and then show them movies. And nowadays, that's a trend. A lot of YA books get made into movie, and then you're like, you know, they love that. And we just make some popcorn, and kids are having fun. So there's so many various ways to bring the teens in. Yes.
Anyone else? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I enjoyed meeting you all. And Jackie has my email, and if you have any questions, please send it along. Thank you.